What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the show. This is Free Mind Podcast, of course, with your host, Dave Hurt, and this is episode 50. Hard to believe we just hit 50 episodes of this thing. Just started the podcast this year, and it's been a heck of a ride. I've learned a lot. Hopefully, I've improved a little bit. It's certainly been my goal to bring you guys value every time I do this. If you've been along from the beginning, I'm eternally grateful and I appreciate you. And if you've just recently joined in, I appreciate you all the same. So thank you guys so much. It's incredibly humbling to know that some people out there care about what I have to say. And I don't take that lightly. And I try to do my best for you every time. So to commemorate 50 episodes, I have decided to put together some clips of advice from previous guests on the show. As you guys know, usually I wrap up episodes with guests by asking them a question. That question is typically, if you could give young people today one piece of advice, what would that be? So I figured I would put together a bunch of clips of people giving their best advice to young people to kind of commemorate hitting 50 episodes, as well as to, I think, provide you guys with something of value where you'll get all of that together in one episode. And also, if you're listening to this around the time that it dropped, because presumably this could be way in the future from the recording date that you actually listen to this episode, but if you're listening to it close to the time that it dropped, check out the social media for the podcast as well as my personal social media on Instagram. That is at I am Dave Hurt and at the Free Mind Podcast. I'm going to be doing a giveaway to celebrate hitting 50 episodes. You're not going to want to miss out on that. Going to be including some of our new shirts that we're getting made for the show, including the Free Mind shirt as well as the Question Everything shirt. So got two designs on that, and I'm going to put together a bunch of goodies to do a giveaway to celebrate. But without further ado, my friends, here comes some of our best advice from some of the previous guests on the show. And until next time, my friends, keep your minds free. If you could give any advice today to young men, what one piece of advice would you give?
Karma is real. So take that into account. Just do the right thing and try to help as many people as you can. Because in helping people, you'll find happiness within helping people. First one helped me realize that, Sal and Andy, those guys were like, holy shit. Like, there's so much more to just like going to work and just doing the grind. You can go and enjoy yourself and make money doing it. But helping people has been the key. I never thought of that before. 6 years ago, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
You know, and as soon as I did, my life changed. So that, like, helping people and just doing the right fucking thing, man. Don't be a self-centered person. It's not about you. It's about everybody else. And that's where karma comes in, where whatever you put out, like the law of attraction is a real fucking thing, dude. Whatever you put out, you'll get back.
You know, if you could give one piece of advice to men age 18 to 22, young men today, what would that be?
Add value before you negotiate. Everything in life, whether it's your relationship, whether it's a new job that you're trying to get, whether you have a job or a position and you're trying to negotiate a higher position or a salary or a raise or whatever it is, too many people in life try to negotiate before they add value. So add that value and add so much value that when you negotiate, it's impossible to not give you whatever you're asking for. And that can even be just the universe in general, right? If you are constantly adding value to the world and to society in general, whether you're spiritual or not, like you believe in God or whatever it is, whether it's God or just good force in the universe in general, it's a real thing that you are going to receive anything you put out tenfold. So add value and then negotiate.
What would one piece of advice be that you would give young men?
Just be true to who you are and be true to what your values are. Like we talked about, is speaking your mind and being true to who you are unapologetically, being true to who you are. And then just nothing replaces the work. Like if you want something, you have to fucking earn it. Bottom line, if you want something, whatever it is, you have to earn it. You can't count on anybody but yourself. You are going to get yourself to where you want to be whatever it is, it's on you and nobody else. Don't ever expect it to be on anybody else. If you want something, you got to go get it, and you got to take responsibility if you do get there, if you don't get there. And there's no one else to blame but yourself if you do or don't.
What is one piece of advice you have for young men age 18 to 22 today, or that you could go back and give to yourself advice at that age?
Read more books.
Read more books.
100%. Read more. Read more. The number one thing that you can do for yourself is to read.
You read a lot?
I at least read 20 minutes every day. And if I'm in the car, I'm listening to Audible books. And if I get burned down on Audible, I'll turn on like a podcast that I could benefit from. It is impossible to read something and not feel more confident. So if there's something that you are lacking in, if it's fucking relationships or fitness or anything of the sort, every problem that I've ever had was solved by reading. We live in an age where we just have unlimited knowledge at our fingertips. Get on fucking YouTube, go to Amazon, get the book, whatever you need, go to Google and just type in and read blog posts. There is absolutely no reason for you to not be bettering yourself in something that you're not confident in. 100% read more books. And I've always had that mindset. Well, I remember being like middle school and like, I need to read more, but I didn't fucking do it. And I'm kicking myself in the ass.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't have enough discipline to set 20 minutes in the morning. And that's usually that's always when I do it. Actually, I wake up, I read, because if I can read that 20 minutes, it's done before life gets fucking chaotic and stuff. I have that 20 minutes in the morning.
You could give one piece of advice to young men today. If you could talk to the young Seth Feroce, what would you tell him?
So I say this every now and then. I heard pay attention. Pay attention in life. Pay attention to yourself and pay attention to your surroundings. If you pay attention to yourself and what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and having real conversations with yourself in the mirror, you'll learn about yourself. Because if you're a young person trying to learn, just live. Pay attention. Pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to when you meet somebody. How does that person perceive you? How did you perceive that person? You pay attention to every little aspect of life, you will start pulling things from it. If you go into a room and you don't acknowledge everybody in the room, why didn't you do that? You should pay attention. See everybody in the room. See who's in the corner, see who's in front of you, see who greeted you. How did you handle the situation? Pay attention to how you feel, pay attention to the people around you. Whenever I got that piece of advice and I just paid attention, like I learned a lot about personalities. I learned a lot about people. And if you have people skills, you can go way further in life than you think. If you just pay attention, you will go so fucking far, it will blow your mind. Because whenever you meet somebody the first time, you get a first impression fucking immediately. How somebody shakes your hands, how somebody smiles at you, the eye contact that they make. That, you pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Because you'll see whether you liked it or you didn't like it. And then you can reflect on it later. So whenever your big thing for me was just whenever I got that, I was terrified of public speaking. So they were just like, just pay attention, see how people perceive you, check your mannerisms, how are you acting? And like the self-reflection came along with that. But if you are a young man and you do not know what the fuck you are doing, pay attention. Pay attention to yourself, pay attention to your surroundings, and live. Go try something. If somebody says, hey, going to split wood all weekend, you want to come give me a hand? Go do it. Even if you don't fucking like splitting wood, but if you like that person, go experience it with them. If that person's saying that they wanted to go to some type of event, even though those don't occur right now, and you like the person but not really into the event, go experience it. You don't know about life unless you experience it. And if you're a young man, you're going to have to experience things. And as you're doing these things, pay attention. Because you'll find out whether you like it or you don't. And there's no wrong thing. If you don't like it, there you go. If you do like it, experience more. Do everything from a good standpoint. Because you'll go so far, it's incredible.